The Joyo Jam Buddy II, it's a game changer. A game changer. A game changer. Joyo Jam Buddy II, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Joyo Jam Buddy II.
Awesome. Greatest pedal ever. This is the greatest multi-effects pedal I've ever seen.
Game changer.
This pedal's so great you don't even need a guitar to play it. Game changer. Greatest thing ever. Once you buy this pedal, you'll want to throw away every other pedal you've ever owned. Game changer. Okay, hold on. Let's not get carried away. Hey everybody, Jayce Allan here. Welcome back to the channel. So this is the Jam Buddy II by Joyo. The folks over at Joyo sent me an email, asked if I'd like to review it. I said, sure, why not? I haven't reviewed anything from Joyo. I thought this would be a good opportunity to get in with the company and maybe in the future review some of their other products. You've seen all the videos on YouTube about how great this thing is. It's a game changer. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and on and on and on. Well, not so fast. Let's talk about this pedal. Let's bring it back down to earth and talk about some of the things that make it good and some of the things that maybe could be improved upon. Let's get started. So let's see. Let's show it off here real quick. It's just this little pedal. This thing is just a bracket for your phone. It's kind of designed as a tabletop practice amp because it looks just like a pedal, but it's actually got two small speakers in here, which surprisingly sound pretty good. You'll hear that in a minute. And then you can set your phone in there because you can Bluetooth music, backing tracks into this. But the one limitation that I'm going to talk about quite a bit, and you'll probably get tired of hearing me say it, is that it doesn't have an app, which I think it would make such a better product if it had an app. And you'll see why in a minute. So and another nice thing about it is it's battery powered, so you can charge it. So it charges through USB-C, and then there's an on-the-go recording, they call it, which we just call it audio interface, because you can hook this into a laptop or your phone and record direct as an audio interface. And then it's got a mini jack line out, which is kind of interesting, and then a mini jack line in, and then a spot for mini jack for headphones, and then a 1/4 inch output. That's how you power it on. You can see it's, like I said, it's battery operated. Then you turn the Bluetooth on, so then you can use your phone to pair to that, stream music to it. As you can see, it's got a little tiny screen, about the size of a postage stamp. That's a little small. So an app would be infinitely more useful for this, so that you could control the parameters without having to stare at that tiny little screen. So then you got two volumes. You got a guitar volume and a music volume, they call it, which controls your Bluetooth volume. And the guitar volume controls the volume coming out of the speaker or the headphones. And then these are rotary knobs, so they act like an amp, excuse me. So you have bass, mid, treble, gain, okay, and those control your tone and whatnot. But they're also press buttons. So see, if you press that, then down here, I don't know if you can see it in the screen, it changed to, you can save your settings. Okay, and then here is your tuner. If you press this button, the mid button, that's your tuner. And then there's a drum machine in it. So then you got to get out of the tuner to go into drums, because the tuner locks everything out and only allows you to use the tuner. So you exit out of the tuner by hitting tuner again, and then here's your drum machine. And then the drum machine, here it says this is reverb, delay, mod, and amp. But it's also drum volume, drum type, and drum speed. So if you turn, so you can see, if you turn this, it adjusts the type of drum, and then this is the speed of the drums. Okay, and then that turns it off. So if you're in your amp menu, where you can control the different parameters, quit pulls you out of it. Two reverbs, so if you press reverb, you get hall, or church. And then you press it, so go to hall, you press it again, and those are the parameters. Press the button again, that's that little cursor turned blue. So you go down to decay. I don't know if you can even see this on the camera. So small. And then hit that, see it turns red, and now you can adjust the decay. And then, like I said, you hit that button for quit. And then you can do a delay. There's digital and analog delay. And then there's modulation. You get chorus, vibrato, flanger, phaser, tremolo, and then your different amps. You get 14 different amps. See, it says selecting amp. Then you can select through. And then notice some of them have a little drive pedal icon next to them. That means it's got an overdrive. So there's, let's see, let's go, there's a black face basically. So we'll select that one. And then see, like I said, your parameters. So you can turn the volume. The volume is 60, 70, 80%. High pass filter is off, mid. So these are all things you can adjust. Low pass filter, high pass filter. Okay. And then there's a drive version of that with the little. So now we're and then the pedal buttons down here. There's so there's channel and then drive mode. So if you want clean, then you would select that amp and then press this, see it switches over to drive, and then select the amp, select the amp you want for the driven. I think we had no black noir, so there you go. So there's a clean, see, so it'll switch back and forth from clean to driven. And then there's a rhythm and lead, which adjusts like the gain or whatever. Okay, so let's hear this, hear what this sounds like. So we're gonna plug into, and this is a West Creek Les Paul style guitar. This is the one I won from Fret Not Guitars giveaway. I'm gonna do a review on this guitar soon. That's just 2-inch speakers, little tiny. Okay, so that's sort of cleanish. So then you press this and you get drive. Well, you gotta set your, it's a little, there we go. Okay, so then here's your, so you were in rhythm mode, and then you switch to lead. See, and then you get your, so here's your drum pattern. It's really slow. There we go. So it's a good practice tool. Let's see where we at. So turn the drums off. And then it's got a built-in looper, which, I don't know. They could have done away with that. Or made it better, because the looper you access by pressing both these pedals at the same time, and then it activates the looper. But the only way you know that the looper is activated is there's a little sort of a blue or a red or green You'll see here in a minute. So I'll press it. See? So it turned green as it's playing, but it was red while it was recording. And then you can hit it again to overdub. It's hard to do without being on the floor, but. And then to stop it, I think is double tap. And when you're in looper mode, you can't adjust the rhythm and the speed of the drums is locked out because it's tied to the tempo of the drums. So then the one thing I found difficult is clearing the loops. So if you go back into the looper, and then you're supposed to hold it. See, and then it turns blue. Okay, so it cleared the overdub. And then it redid the, see, it turns blue, but it says you're supposed to hold it for a couple seconds. And it's supposed to clear everything. And it's just not doing it. See, it just keeps undoing so the looper is just not functioning the way it's supposed to. So you can shut it off so that there's no loop anymore, but your speed on your drum, see, you're still locked out. And the only way I found to fix that is to shut the unit off, turn it back on. There's no way to clear that loop out. And according to the instructions, it says hold those two buttons down. It says clear all recordings during playback. So press the 2 foot switches simultaneously and hold until the blue cursor at the bottom of the screen lit, indicating clearing all recordings has been activated. Once done, the cursor will disappear. Looper changes to initial status, but it doesn't. It jumps right back into undo. So that would probably be a firmware update. I don't know. I think they're trying to pack too much into this this little pedal to include that looper. I mean, it would be functional. Like I said, it's designed as a practice tool. So if you wanted to just loop, a rhythm on your guitar and then play along with it, it's functional enough for that. But the fact that you can't clear, and then it ties up the drum pattern. So like I said, the only way to fix that is to turn it off and turn it back on. So I mean, it's got Bluetooth. You can just Bluetooth backing tracks into it. So I'm not sure why the need for the looper. I mean, they could get away without having the drum machine on there too, since you can stream backing tracks into it. But I think all that would be solved if they just made an app for it. If they made an app where you could like upload IRs and they had a community base where you could submit, you could create your own amp sounds and tones, kind of like Fender's Tone, whatever it is, and Tone X's Tone Library and all that stuff. That would be awesome, because then you could create the tones and the sounds you want and upload them into this. And then another thing this thing doesn't do, it's got the drive and clean and everything, but you can't switch the reverb on and off through the pedal. You can't switch the tremolo. So if you wanted to, say you're playing and you wanted to use the chorus, which I don't even know if it's okay. I gotta set the rate. There we go. There it is. Okay, so you're playing along, then you wanted to switch it off, well, then you have to turn, you know, you're gonna exit out of this, and then actually, I don't even know if you can activate the chorus. You're actually just turning the rate up or down. So 0% is, so there's really no button to activate those effects, if that makes sense. So if you go into delay, you wanted your, so if you want a delay, you press that and see it says mix 0. So the way you get delay into your mix is by turning it up, and it only increments, but you notice that by 10, is it 10 or 5%? 5%. So then you got your delay. Which sounds really good, but the fact that you can't really activate it or deactivate it, it's you have to basically mix it in or out. So it's technically on all the time. We'll do the church reverb. Same with the gain. I think that's the same. Oh, that's the amp. So yeah, so if you could control those effects with a foot switch, so if they had an app where you could Bluetooth into the pedal and use an external foot switch to control those parameters, that would be great. But again, it's only 90 bucks retail on sale right now for $72. So I guess you can't be too critical about it. But it's, you know, I mean, the Belton GP5 does pretty much everything I'm saying, and I think this was only 80 bucks. I think it was pretty sure it was less than $100 for that. So, but this doesn't have a speaker. I mean, you can plug a headphone into it, and it has stereo out too. So, yeah, I don't know if they combine sort of the functionality of the Belton pedal into the Joyo. And I don't know what the Jam Buddy 1 had an app. I've never played around with that, but so maybe they rushed this. I don't know, who knows, but it's neat. It's a cool little, I mean, I was really impressed by the speakers. And the tones are pretty good too. It just really difficult to, you know, manipulate the knobs and the controls to get the tone that you want. And like I said, there's only 14 amps. They're not really 14 amps. There's, you know, some of the amps are the same amp. They just have a different, you know, they have the fuzz pedal sort of attached to it. So let's see if I can get this up on my phone for Bluetooth. Jam Buddy 2, yeah, so it's right there. It comes up as Jam Buddy 2. And see here how it sounds. Not bad. That's not bad at all for a little Bluetooth speaker. So yeah, you can use it as a Bluetooth speaker and stream music into it, and it sounds pretty good for 2-inch speakers. It's not bad at all. So anyway, there you go. That's it. That's the Jam Buddy II. Definitely good, you know, but definitely, you know, there's some things missing, I think. I definitely think it needs an app. If they could put an app in there, and then I don't know, I'd have to test the on-the-go recording. It's OTG, but it's an audio interface. I'd have to check that out to see if that's how that works. But that would be useful too. Like if you have your phone and you can use this as an audio interface to connect and record, like in GarageBand or whatever, that would be cool too. So it's small. You could just throw it in your gig bag and travel with it. And the fact that it's battery powered, pretty cool. So there you go. Anyway, Joyo Jam Buddy II, little practice amp. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.